Regular council meeting of the Village of Armada will now come to order, please. Pledge of allegiance to flag. Everyone rise. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Shaw.
Here.
Clark.
Here.
Cronin.
Here.
Bullock.
Here.
Ballard.
Here.
Elke.
Here.
Sons is absent.
Next is the approval of the agenda. What's the council's wishes, please?
Mr. President, I'll move the agenda to be accepted as presented.
Support. Ballard and Clark. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
At this time, let's open up the floor for citizen comments. 3 minutes, and state your name for the record.
I'm good.
Thank you. That's easy. There's no presentations tonight. Administrator reports, you have the building report in your packet. And liaison reports, yes, Ross.
Got one. This is on water. So the end of June, we're supposed to turn in our water asset management plan to DEQ, we're now called the Eagle. I did send Will Disser, who is our Eagle representative, an update on the plan where we are today. We're not done, but we made significant progress. I did arrange to go meet him. He's literally a mile away from me at work, so that was easy. We had a conversation about what we were doing to include the fact that we're working on our 2019 water reliability study. The current AMP, if we submit it, it's got 2012 data in it. We want to get 2019 data in it. We're in the middle of doing that. Will has granted us till 30 September to get it done, and there may be a follow-on extension after that. He's very much looking for progress, which is what we're making. So I thought it was great that they gave us some additional time. It just, I think it shows that they're confident in what we're doing here, and they're willing to give us additional time to get it done right. So,
Good, thank you, Ross.
yes, sir.
Anyone else? If not, we're going to move on to general business. Consent agenda approval of the regular council meeting minutes of June 24th and the payment of bills. What's council's wishes, please?
I'll move the consent agenda to be accepted as presented.
Support.
Bell and Shaw. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Old business sewer plan update. This is Mr. Clark's department, please.
Yeah, the Colonial Lift Station has been, the lid has been repaired. They did it differently than I was led to believe. I guess I misunderstood how they were going to do it. I thought they were going to pour concrete over top of what they had and put a new hatch. They literally took the lid off of the old one, brought a new lid in with the new hatch, new venting, and put it in place. So it's just as low as it was. So the sidewalk, there will be a drop, no worse than a step. But the vent that was right next to the sidewalk that was in bad shape, that is on the opposite side, on the road side. So that's not what I call a hazard or anything. So I'm still waiting. I called D&E, let him know the job was done. He said he was going to try to come there Saturday. I drove by it. It's still not done. I'm sure it'll be done within the next couple days. So other than that, that's all I've got.
Thank you, Mr. Clark.
No concrete in the construction of the new one?
No, they literally pre-form a new lid,
Okay.
a new cap for it. They had to pry the old one off. They had a small crane on a truck to remove it. Wheel the trailer over there with the new, they call it cookie on top, laid it in place, rehooked all the new rails for all the floats and everything that operate off that. So, again, it's all set. Scott said he did have to fine tune a few things. He said they had a couple of things not adjusted right, but other than that, everything seemed to work fine.
Okay.
Very good. West Main Street update, Mr. Ballard, your department, please?
Thank you. Well, we're still at the same spot we were 2 weeks ago. Apparently the cement guys are gonna be in a week from today to get the curb and everything started, get that going again. It'll be 23 days of no work on the project, and we are going to be contacting MDOT, see what can be done about this. Other than that, that's about it.
Okay.
Okay, now, I do have one other thing to say, is that, please, if the residents would, if they could call the office here for any questions or concerns that you have on the project. Leave the people that are working on the project alone. They're under a time constraint, they realize this, and they want to get their job done, and we want to have it done. So if you have questions, please contact the village office. They in turn will contact me. I will contact you if they can't answer the question, and we'll go from there. But there is a new schedule coming out that the village will have very soon, with some dates, approximate dates, weather permitting, of course, that our project will be done. Thank you.
Very good, Mr. Ballard, thank you. New business. We're going to enter into a public hearing right now. The proposed ordinance amending the village code for ordinances to provide for local resident regulations of fireworks consistent with the Michigan State Fireworks Safety Act as amended. What is council's wishes?
Also move that we enter into a public hearing at 7:08.
Second by Colin. Any good discussion? If not,
That'd be wrong.
yes. Yeah.
Ballard,
Yes.
Conan,
Yes.
Belkey,
Yep.
Wallach,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Okay. Floor is open up for a public hearing for the said fireworks regulations. Any comments or discussion? Hearing none, seeing none?
Okay, I guess we can,
Motion to go out of
I
public
move
hearing?
that we go out of public hearing.
Second.
Moved and supported. Colin and-
Can it be to
Ballard.
exit public hearing at
Yeah.
7:09?
Yes. So,
No.
no. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Next is the oven purchase,
No,
which,
we gotta do a motion to adopt the ordinance.
Mr. President, I'll move to adopt the ordinance amending section 91-30 of Article 5, Chapter 91, Title 9 of the Village Code of Ordinances to provide for local regulation of fireworks consistent with the State of Michigan's Fireworks Safety Act as amended.
Support.
moved by Ballard, supported by Belkey. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Okay, now we'll go into the oven purchase at the sewer plant. Mr. Clark, your department.
Yes, as I've talked about, the drying oven in the lab has failed. It's about as old as the plant is. And as is the case down there, a lot of this stuff is specialty stuff. There's not a whole lot of companies that make them. There's a whole lot of companies that will sell the same item to you. So Scott checked into quite a few places, and he's gotten the cheapest price he could find. And again, this is part of their testing. I want to make our lab still workable. A lot of the stuff gets sent out, but they don't get the results back for a number of days. It helps them when they can have constant eyes on what's going on down there. And whether F&B is running our plant or we got somebody else, I would like to have the proper equipment in that plant, so whoever is running it could run it. So if nobody has any questions on the reasoning, I will resolve to approve the proposal of Thermo Fisher Scientific in the not-to-exceed amount of $2,688.92 for a Hermathon Advanced Protocol Oven for the sewer plant.
Support.
Moved by Clark, supported by Shaw. Any further discussion?
Yes, I see on here that the total amount is $2,668.92 on the quote.
Ah, okay.
And they also charged us tax on that, to which I do not believe we pay tax.
Sales tax.
Sales tax.
Sales tax, correct.
Okay, that's,
We hit that issue with F&B before, because it depends on who does the actual acquisition and buys it. If they buy it through their firm, they pay tax. If we buy it through us, which we don't have an accountant, then we don't.
We have a calculator. I was wondering if the six is $151, 6%.
I don't have it in there.
I'd just be curious, make sure it's the same tax we should be paying if we're ordering it.
Is F&B ordering it, Steve?
as far as I know, well,
Well, I come out to 144.95.
for the tax.
Pretty close.
Well, I think we should be ordering it ourselves.
So do I.
Okay, let me, I'll,
He's telling us to order.
I would do a not to exceed.
we'll probably still be under this not to exceed.
We are.
So let me figure it all out.
And leave it at
It'll
that.
probably be cheaper.
It's gonna be cheaper than that, that's a
But
not to exceed.
if we keep it at the 688.92, I mean, we're covered.
Right.
And we backtrack, we save some money, that's good.
I agree.
Steve, I think if you look at the quote, they're billing F&B, and that's why they're adding
Okay,
this.
I'll get with Scott tomorrow.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
But I think from now on, they should be telling them that the village is purchasing it. You know, because we're tax-free.
Okay.
So, so they have that understanding now. All right, so, this is roll call involving money, go ahead.
Clark,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Elke,
Yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Conan,
Yes.
Wolof.
Yes. Okay, motion carried. Next is the other one, Steve.
The meter purchase, this meter is what we use down at the fairgrounds to check on things. This is how we charge the fair if there's anything above and beyond what is allowable. That sampler has gone bad. The model's obsolete. They've been unable to locate the compatible battery chargers for it. So they're recommending the purchase of a new sampler. And I asked Scott also, I said, is this sampler can it only be used for that? He said, no, if the sampler goes down at the plant, he said that they could actually use this down there. So it's not a one ticket item. I mean, it can be used for other things, but mainly it is used for down at the fairgrounds to keep track of things. Are we gonna have the same problem on the money?
No.
I just,
No, there's no.
Okay.
nothing I have.
okay, 'cause I just got back from vacation, I'm just seeing the paperwork, I knew we were doing it, so, okay.
I think we're good on this.
Okay, so I'll resolve to approve the proposal from HESCO for a Teledyne ISCO GLS portable sampler in the not-to-exceed amount of $3,234.
Support.
Any further discussion? Yeah. Not, roll call.
Clark,
Yes.
Ballard,
Yes.
Wolof,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Elke,
Yes.
Conan.
Yes.
Then next is the arsenic containment feasibility study. This is Ross's department. Ross, please.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to try to synopsize this. You've heard about it a couple times, but Armada water, groundwater has high arsenic levels. Of course, we treat that. We pull it out through the wastewater, through the water treatment plant, and then down through the wastewater treatment plant. So Steve has talked in the past about still having high arsenic levels down there, and of course the problem is getting rid of that media. So we want to try to do things upstream to take care of the arsenic. A couple things that we've looked at in the budget this year are changing filter media at the water treatment plant. Man, I wish they had different names for those. That's too close. We talked about changing that, and we've also talked about doing a feasibility analysis on the arsenic containment sump, which is downstream from the water treatment plant. It collects arsenic from our back flushing of the filter media. We were going to do this earlier this year, and then we got stopped up by the fact that was concerned that they were not going to make the same type of media that we use in the water treatment plant. We've since found out that they are going to remanufacture that media. Don't know what the cost is, but it appears that they're moving to try to do that in the near term. So as a component of that, we then wanted to look at that containment sump and see if we could make it a larger capacity to hold more arsenic in there. It also costs us to vector that out. We're doing that on a monthly basis now. That's coming close to $1,000 each time we do it. Because these are two priorities, and because we've now been cleared to change the media in the water treatment plant, I would like to move forward with the arsenic containment study. Now, this is part of a two-phase priority in the budget, one of which is to do engineering, potentially this year if we get a satisfactory study, and then next year actually replace the sump, make it bigger. So the first thing is to do this study. So we're clear now to do the study. Roe had submitted a quote earlier this year for $3,060. It's to take a look at two potential alternatives. We made sure that one of the alternatives was not going to be a containment pond. We're not getting anywhere close to that. This is a contained sump. Right? So they're going to give us two different alternatives, and then there's the potential to have a sit-down meeting with Ed and myself, Marv, and anybody else that's interested in discussing the possibility to move forward. Now, we don't know what's going to come out of this, but it's the first step. I have been sending notes to Roe asking, since there's been some number of months that have passed between the first quote and now, is there any change in the quote? I've gotten nothing back. So what I'm asking for in a motion that I'll read is a not-to-exceed price of $3,500. I don't think there's going to be a change in the quote, but I just don't know. So this covers me for what I would reasonably expect possibly the quote to move up to. So if there's no questions, I'm going to go ahead and read. I'd like to make a motion to approve the proposal from Village Engineer Rowe Professional Services Company to conduct a water treatment plant discharge feasibility analysis for an amount not to exceed $3,500.
And to allow the president to sign on the village's behalf, or Ross to sign on the village's behalf, or
Why?
president, to allow the president.
Support.
Okay.
Ross, are you saying that there's a figure in the budget already for this?
Yes, we had $20,000 for engineering, of which this $3,500 is pulled out of. So that's the phase one piece.
But $3,500 wasn't identified specifically?
It wasn't called
Okay,
out.
I'm just making sure we didn't need a budget amendment
Right.
as well. Okay.
On the Roll's letter there too, Ross, I see the additional fee possible of $560. So that would be, in other words, $60 more. So, but for $60 more, they'd probably just buy $3,500.
You know, in theory, if this comes through as they submitted, it would be $3,060. I was asking originally for $3,100. I'm adding a little bit extra now because again, I don't know if they're gonna come back when we submit this and say, oh, it's been 5 months and there's a slight increase in labor rates or something like that. I don't know. But since they've not responded back, I'd like to give them this sign and then let them come back and tell us, hey, yeah, the price has gone up.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So this keeps it moving
Good,
forward.
thank you. So what we're gonna do now is roll call on it.
I got a question on this. Now, are we being forced to go into this study?
No,
I mean,
No,
why
no,
wouldn't
no.
we, why don't we wait on this study? Why do we have to do it right now?
Well, the longer we wait and we get more arsenic down at the plant, I may get to a point where I can't land apply that sludge because the arsenic level is too high. And that'll be a lot more costly than this study.
We were taking that sludge out way before we ever had the arsenic treatment plant.
I think they changed the arsenic levels though, Dave.
Yeah, they did.
The government
Yeah.
lowered
Yeah,
it.
that's why we have the water treatment plant, because
That's why we bought
they
those
changed
tanks.
things.
That's right. Because we were, before the government changed the standard of arsenic concentrations, we didn't need the filtration system. And then when they changed it, we were above, it's like 18 parts per billion, and they lowered it to 6 parts per billion. And that's when we made the purchase of the filtration system.
I mean, we all know we've got this sewer project coming up. We can't take a major water project.
well, this is not a major water.
I know
Yeah.
the study.
Yeah. So to find out if there's anything we can do to increase the capacity, you gotta know that before you do any other engineering work. This year in the water budget, we had prioritized $20,000 towards the engineering, which this is a part of. Now,
I guess I don't even we filter that water through to take the arsenic out.
yeah,
Right.
So what are they studying? If you could take more out of it than?
no, it's,
To hold it back before it gets to the sewer plant.
right.
So if we can contain it, and the Vector truck comes in once a month and takes, for $1,000, takes that away, otherwise, it's down at my plant, and I have
than
100,000 gallons of
Right.
sludge I can't get rid of because it's hazardous.
Okay.
Now, I think I understand where you're going now. Changing some of the media in the filtration plant, in theory, is gonna help this out. We've got 4 vessels and we've got 4 sets of media we have to change. We're gonna try to do 2 this year and 2 next year. Of course, that assumes that this media is ready, and this all started to backfire, that's a bad word to use, and this all started to come back on us when we found that at the time they were not going to remanufacture that media. We would have to go to a different media, re-engineer some of the plant, do some more DEQ engineering, and so on, so it threw everything into turmoil. But now that they've determined that they're going to remanufacture that same media that we currently use, we'll get that. That should help reduce the levels, and then a larger size capacity containment tank should further reduce the levels.
Russ, wasn't that change in media gonna cost like an astronaut, 200, 300,000?
I
I mean, it was a huge number.
It was $250,000, I think.
My point is that's a substantial savings for us if that happens. I know it's still kind of.
Right. Well, we were trying to do 2 tanks instead of 4 to keep the cost down per year. Again, it's what we have in the budget is 2 this year. Any other type of media would have been significantly higher, at least that's what the discussion has been. We don't know what this remanufactured media is going to cost. In theory, it's not going to be as much as the new stuff, and it won't require engineering, DEQ permits, and all that kind of stuff. So at this point, I would recommend that we go forward with the study and just see if it's feasible to do that, if there's a way to expand that tank and contain more of the arsenic. Again, assuming now that we're going to get this media that we currently have sometime this year, just don't quite know when.
And if we could get a feeling too, Ross, as to the cost. I mean, originally, they was talking $25,000. You know, when we put this in, and then it goes up to $250, and then now we're gonna split it, which.
Then it's up to 500.
Yeah, you know, I mean, that's the thing.
Right,
We
right.
just don't want them to give us hit us for $250. You
Right.
know, so if that's the case, if we can do that,
if there's any way we can find out. I mean, I
Oh,
think we should.
Absolutely. We're trying to get, you know, what is the likely price for the media gonna be once it's remanufactured. I'm sure it's gonna go up something. It's been 11 years since we bought it. Which again is one of the reasons why we're doing 2 instead of 4, is to keep that cost down. But the figure I have kicking around in my head was $250,000 for, and that's the original price for 4. I just don't have my facts in my head right at the moment, but we're going to split that. But in this particular case, the study is focused not on the media and the water treatment plant, but rather downstream in this containment tank that we have. I think it's probably a good, I hate to throw money away, I don't think it is. I think it's a good use to try to find out whether or not we can expand that. It doesn't solve all of our problems, and it doesn't answer the question of the media cost, but at least lets us know whether or not we have a second means to help reduce the arsenic level.
Question, is the containment tank down there in the building that has the?
No,
It's under the ground.
it's kind of to the southwest, along the street from where the water treatment plant is. So,
This arsenic thing actually started under the Clinton administration. Then, when Bush came in, we thought, well, hey, maybe we'll get out of doing this. But they also came through and made us do it. What's so crazy is, if you live in Armada, the government cares how much arsenic you drink. However, if you live on the other side of Center Road, you can drink all the arsenic you want, and they don't care. They only care if you live in the town.
You're supplying water.
And are we having any conversations with any other communities?
about what they're
Is
doing.
Yarrick hearing anything from, you know, any of his other constituents on this?
I haven't talked to Yorick. I know that when we discussed with Sunshine Water, the concern about the fact that the media wasn't going to be remanufactured, they were equally concerned because they said there were a number of other communities just like us that built these plants and used that particular media. And I think it's now been the pressure or the clamor of these other communities saying, hey, we need this stuff too. We don't want to re-engineer. We don't want to have to change our facility. We don't want to have to go through DEQ recertification and all that. That's what's got this media back in the docket for remanufacturing, right? But I don't think that that's going to change the current arsenic standards. You're going to have to meet them somehow, some way. This right now appears to be the simplest, easiest way to do it. Representative Yarrick's going to come in a week or so, I think.
Not here, he's going to the township.
Township 1 at 10. So, try to get over and talk to him. I've not talked to him yet about this. What I do need to do is find out from Sunshine, because I don't know that we know who else has got this type of facility. They're all across the United States. There are some other ones in Michigan. I just don't know where. And then I can start having a dialogue with those guys.
I'm taking it, surrounding communities must be doing something.
Rowe should know who has exactly the same as ours because we were mirroring off of another community that they've done research for when we put them in ours. We weren't the first.
Local, it was, well, somewhere of this region of the state, right? I seem to remember that,
Yep.
they mentioned a name, I just don't remember what
Yep.
municipality it was. But I will get that. And I would like to find out where these other facilities are and start to have a conversation. Don't think that changes our feasibility study, but so.
Right.
Yeah, we have roll call.
Belkey,
Yes.
Shaw,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Conan,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
Ballard.
Yes.
Motion carried. If you want me to sign this one, don't you?
Yeah, then I have it, I can just send it back. Or Ross got it.
Sean, if you're able just to
Yeah.
PDF that to me, I'm gonna,
Okay, yep.
maybe this will get Doug's attention.
Okay.
And get some signed piece of paper. you heard from Doug at all?
He was on vacation, yes.
No, I haven't. In like 3 weeks, I haven't said anything.
I don't know what he's doing the other two.
Hopefully he's busy. Thank you, Mr. President, I appreciate that.
Thank you, Ross.
I'll send that.
Okay, perfect. I'll set it up tomorrow.
Excuse me. Okay, next is the draft 2020 water rate resolution. Ross, do you have a comment on that?
It might be sewer.
I think it's actually sewer.
It's sewer. No, I'm sorry, yes, it is sewer.
Yeah.
Just, I did this right at the last minute.
Oh,
Getting me into trouble.
Yeah.
You got sewer.
I have water on the thing.
Yeah.
Water on the agenda.
Steve, you want me to take it?
Yeah.
You want me to take it?
Yes.
This is a contingency of the bond that we are applied for sewer. And what it does is it's giving the bond council assurances that because we are collecting actually in advance of the bond so that we don't hit that ban issue that we did on the dwarf bond. So we're assuring that we'll collect enough to make that we meet those payments, but it won't be enough to cover what the full bond amortization will be on it. So what they're asking, they're not asking us to raise the rate now. It's just that you will revisit this in the next budget, and given the numbers that they will be supplying us before the bond actually closes and is sold, that we would adjust our rates to accommodate the bond.
They just want to know that we
will-
have something,
In place,
In
saying
place
we will
to-
do that.
We had to do this
Yes.
earlier for this year,
Yes.
so it's just a draft.
What is council's wishes?
I'll move to approve the draft sewer service fees and the rate resolution for the 2020/2021 budget year.
Support?
Support. With
Mark
discussion.
Ballard.
With
Any
discussion.
further discussion?
Yes, I'm looking here, our sewer permit inspection fee is $30. Most communities are at least 100. I think that should be increased to at least $100. That'll be on page 3, item 7.
I don't think we
Okay.
should change that in the draft, though. I think that should
No, I
happen
think we
when
should
do
review
this
that at budget time,
Yeah.
next budget.
Okay.
But yeah, that is a small fee, that's
Yeah, that's
nothing.
not, no, good lord.
Take care of paperwork.
Yeah, you get an electrical bill here, it's about, just to change the service, about $96 to $125. So,
No,
that ain't nothing.
No, that's a good point.
Okay, so I'll try to make a note of that for next year.
Sure.
Anything further?
Thank you.
If not,
There's no, we don't usually.
no, that's okay, yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Up and coming agenda items? Is there any? If not, citizen comments again? Good, at least we have one citizen in it. No, yes. Council comments at this point?
Concert in the park Wednesday.
Are you playing?
No. Not till the last one.
Nothing else in?
Everybody's worn out from the holiday.
Yeah. We don't have a closed session tonight, so I'm gonna entertain a motion for adjournment, please.
The time is 7:35, I move to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion, supported, all in favor?
Aye.
There was no discussion, so.
Yeah, let's stay.
That's one, that's